Hey everybody, it's time for another Cavendish update. I've been getting a lot of questions and a lot of inquiry on the status of the experiment. I've had some modifications and some changes and a lot of new parts that I've added to it, so let's take a look. Welcome back to my spare bedroom. As you can see, I've got the box around the Cavendish now. I've had the walls for a little while, but I just got the tops, and I actually had to use some wood to support them because they're a little flexible. The center part is split down the middle, and that's why those two short pieces of wood are there, is to actually physically support them. And there is a gap in the middle where the wire can go through. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to end up. I might cut a hole through there just so that there's less of an airflow. I've got the stepper motor down here that is controlled by the Arduino. Got a channel that I actually cut through the Lazy Susan, and the belt that I'm using is for a printer head on a 3D printer. You can see the string going up to the ceiling, all the way down. I've actually got a camera up there by the ceiling that's pointed down. Over on this side, you can see I have a camera pointing against the wall, and you'll see that in a minute. And there's a laser attached to that with a mirror directly attached to the swing arm. And the importance of that is because that is how these measurements are actually going to be taken. Right now, I'm trying to equalize the sway arm. Any movement, any touch of it makes it swing back and forth wildly. So the laser is on the wall. Ultimately, though, it's going to be projecting over on the far wall, and I'm going to print out some kind of a grid pattern with some kind of a precise measurement on there so you can observe it precisely as it processes back and forth with the oscillation with and without the weights. Everything is controlled by an Arduino down here. That controls the motors. That is the power for the laser. And then I also currently have 3 temperature sensors. They're just attached because this is on the breadboard right now is just a prototype. So I've got 3 temperature sensors. One's going to be on the floor, one's going to be in the box, and one will be on the ceiling so we can see the gradient of the temperature within the room. I also plan to add 2 vibration sensors, one to the bottom of the table and one to the ceiling, so that you can see if my neighbors upstairs are stomping around and possibly those vibrations are modifying the results. So let's see how it actually looks in action. Like I mentioned before, any touching of the bar or the wire at all massively disturbs the whole system. So the biggest thing here is letting that bar rest so it can find its natural equilibrium point. And you can see the laser going back and forth. Adjusting the mirror was a nightmare because every time I tried to get the mirror recentered on the wall so that the bar was parallel to one point and the mirror was parallel to another point, it just messed everything up and threw everything off. So the biggest key to this entire experiment is going to be allowing that torsion bar to relax and find its natural equilibrium. And then once it's at its equilibrium, we can move the weights into place. And I've got it set up pretty well. I'm still working on the coding, so if there's any Arduino coders out there, please reach out to me, let me know. I'm pretty dumb at this. I'm figuring it out as I go. I'm not a coder, I'm not a builder, I'm just kind of winging it here. So all assistance is greatly appreciated. And once I've got it coded, I should be able to move that weight in and out of position without contacting the bar, without causing any air current inside. And that is the goal. The goal is that at some point, on some day when the entire experiment is ready, I'm going to do an extremely long live stream, probably in excess of 6 hours of just the natural oscillation, so that anybody can watch, anybody can download, anybody can record, and they can take the data for themselves. What is the natural oscillation of this bar and this system? And then at a set time, I will move the weights into place, and we can see if there's an oscillation change. And that's how we find Big G. Thanks for coming back, everybody. I hope to have a live stream up in the next week or so. I'm going to invite some other people in the community, people that have done this experiment before in a more official capacity, and other people in the community that just might have input, because I don't know everything about this experiment. I'm not a scientist. I have a degree in criminal justice. This is just me winging it. But my goal, if everybody else can sharpshoot me, if everybody else can tell me where I might be doing something that's wrong, or applying something that is improper, or even introducing a variable that is incorrect. That is the goal. I have about 7 more months to get this right. And together, we can make it happen. I'll see you all on Thursday.